A few words about tables and figures. Again, I'll give you one example. Whenever you are citing the tables and figures, always emphasize the finding and not the table and figure itself. Let me give you an example. Table number 3 shows that the students who attended the module on research published twice as many papers per year. This is not an appropriate way of presenting or writing. Why? Because the focus automatically goes on the word table number 3, whereas table number 3 or table number 4 or table number 28 is not important. The important thing is the finding. So again, what I told you, please present your finding and important results upfront. Let me give you an example. So you change the same thing into students who attended the module on research published twice as many papers per year, table number 3. So automatically while reading, the focus goes on the actual finding, which is that student who attended the module published better papers. So this is how you go about in writing while writing for tables and figures. Few tips about the tables. I told you, use tables only if the text will not suffice. So specifically in case of research article, if you can explain your results or your data in 3 lines or less, please do not use a table for that. Design table to be understandable without the text. Have you ever undergone that kind of torture जिसमें क्या नाम है, आप टेबल होता है एक सफ़े पे, आप टेबल पढ़ते हो, फिर पिछले सफ़े पे जाते हो, फिर टेबल पढ़ते हो, फिर पिछले सफ़े पे जाते हो, आपको कुछ समझ नहीं आती, आप ऑथर पे लानत भेज के क्या नाम है आर्टिकल पटक देते हो. So again, whenever you write for others. So please do not make such complex tables कि जो कर मैं समझ ना आए and people have to refer back to the text again and again in order to understand your tables. So your tables should be stand-alone tables. And whenever you're using a series of tables, for example, if you're using like 8 to 10 tables in case of your dissertation, please use the same format for each. And the recommendation is either you follow the instruction clearly mentioned in your research guidebook of your university, or you make the simplest of the table possible. Table में खूबसूरती करने की और उसको मेकअप कराने की कतई कोई जरूरत नहीं होती. Color table are not going to give you any extra advantage if your data does not make any sense. So please use the same format for each kind of table. This is not the place where you try to show off your Microsoft skills and make different tables in different formats. And again, avoid including too much information in a single table. And I'll give you one example. Oh, sorry. So again, this is my own research that we published a couple of years back. So I'm totally okay in describing and dissecting this research. So this seems to be a confusing graph. The title is a 13-year audit of manuscripts related to medical education published in Pakistani Medical Journal. So can somebody explain this to me or explain it to their colleagues? What does this mean? Iska matlab kya hai? And if you make graph like these, it's only going to add to confusion of the reviewer, editor, and your own self. So what did we do? We converted this confusing graph, which is actually not explaining anything in detail and a crisp, clear pattern, to this one. So look at this. The same graph was broken up and converted into 2 different graphs. So this is a graph which shows that the number of medical education articles published in each of the 4 journals. And you can see that in JPMA it was 60, JCPSP 42, JMC 12, and PGMS 4. And I can also give you a linear trend of publishing in the last 13 years. And I can make a statement here, right here, that in the last 3 years, the number of articles on biomedical education have been increasing in the country, as explained in the recent rise in the last 3 years, 6, 13, and 22. So this is how you go about it. Okay? You explain it in a better way. Okay? So again, your table should be stand-alone table. Your table should be in the same format. Your table should explain things instead of creating more confusion for your readers and for your reviewers. So let's move forward.